consider this boot camp for anyone getting into this game. This is like solely a guide for people who are like brand new and don't want to search up like a crazy tutorial, because this is literally just the basics. So you have temperate, subarctic, subtropical, and Toyland. Each one has its own like strengths and weaknesses. Some businesses aren't available in different areas. Some of them have different aircraft or different dates that they are available. Like the Toyland has an entirely unique set of vehicles. The map size is a lot of this is self-explanatory, but what I like to do is use a large map with everything set to high on towns and sea level. And I typically just do high towns and industries, and you should too, especially if it's your first game, so there's like plenty of opportunities to take advantage of. So new GRF is for like mods and stuff like that. AI is for if you want to add some AIs to the game to play against, and if you don't have friends. So hold on, I'm actually gonna go ahead and remove these. Why is it still here? Whatever, it's disabled. So, game script, I don't typically use this, but I'm sure more advanced users could find a use for it. You won't be using AI, game script, or new GRF if you're just doing basic gameplay. I am going to start on January 1st of 1975. And I'm going to start in 1975 because many of the vehicles are available. Oh, well, I accidentally selected Toyland, but whatever. Thankfully, this game runs pretty fast. I'm going to choose just a regular temperate landscape for this, but I typically like, yeah, that's a lot of sea. I'm going to turn down to sea. Well, this is the third time I've had to restart this. Sea level, the sea level being high influences how many ports you are going to be able to build, because the more sea there is, the more towns will be closer to the water, and you can build ports there and other businesses, especially like running cargo ships. Those are pretty good, especially for oil. Now at the top you have pause, fast forward, your settings. In your settings there is a setting that you would want to turn on, but if you don't, you can skip past or whatever. Auto renew, minimum money needed for renew. This, whenever you replace your vehicles, it will need a certain amount of money, and this is basically how much it needs before it allows replacements automatically. This is the map, of course. You can also make an extra viewport to if you want to view another area of the map. Cargo flow legend, just I don't typically use this, but I'm sure you could find a use for it, for like routes and stuff like that. Sign list is just of course your list of signs. The map of the world is the most interesting. You can turn off the town names clicking this button, and you can show the businesses by pressing this one. Whenever you want to find like a particular business set, say if I want to look for oil refineries and oil rigs and oil wells and stuff, now they're showing up as blue and yellow. And each of these is a location. And I'm going to briefly summarize how cargo and stuff works in the most simple terms. Each station produces a certain amount of stuff, right? And each station will produce this much per month. Sometimes it can increase or decrease, sometimes drastically. And this can affect travel. Same thing can happen for towns. They can grow and shrink over time, I believe. See, this coal mine produces 144 tons of coal per month. This one produces 72. This one produces 64. So you would want to focus on the bigger one if you're transporting larger loads, but smaller mines and factories, they should be fine if you're running a smaller route. This is just your subsidies, and what it will allow you to do is get extra profits by basically doing contracts. Town your town menu, you can sort by name, population, and rating. In case if you don't know, rating is going to be your company rating. Your finances are here, and you can repay and borrow money here. And you always start out with 100K per company. 100K of loan that you need to pay off. This is your menu here, where you can edit your guy's face, your color scheme. You can edit your name, company name, stuff. Yep, there we go. Yep, there we go. I found something fitting. Now, their cargo graph, your graph, all of these explain themselves. Your operating profit and cargo paying rates are the most important. Company value is better for multiplayer or against AI. Performance history is better for, I guess, multiplayer as well. Delivered cargo shows the amount of cargo that you've delivered and how much of it you have. So if you're like delivering a ton of coal, that's going to skyrocket. I have no use for this. I don't typically use it. There's also like a goal list and a storybook. I don't typically use those. You can find your industry directory here, and you can just, it's basically like the town directory, but for all of these industries that you need to keep track of. Now, these are your vehicle menus. You can replace and like see your available vehicles here in each of them. It's going to be very useful for replacing stuff, which I guess I can get into a bit. Of course, zoom in and out, but you can use the scroll wheel for that. Railroads, roads, like streetcar infrastructure, and waterways, airports. Those are your like main infrastructure construction units. You will be able to build. I'm going to demonstrate it mainly with buses and trucks, but I'm going to build a train and an airport as well, just to show how that looks like. So I'm going to start off by building. You want to unpause the game. You can't build while it's paused. Whenever you start to build, you need a station for each vehicle can. Okay, I'm going to pause it again. Each vehicle can transport a type of cargo, or multiple types, right? And each time you make a station, say I want to make I want to start a bus station in Grainingwell, you would have to. They can't have junctions, so you have to find a flat area to do it. There we go. You want to keep track of that. So when you go to see it, it says it accepts passengers, but before you build it, it'll show accepts and supplies. Supplies is acceptance supplies is explains itself, but so once you have your like supply chain, once you've got your station set up, I typically like to build the roads first, but it's a pretty good idea to build your stations first, I guess, because you can keep track. But I'm going to build a bus station here, and this one will also accept and supply passengers. Most airports and bus stations should supply and also accept passengers and mail. However, mail has to be closer to the center of the town, but we'll get into that. New vehicles. There's different models, but you can sort by cargo types if you get overwhelmed. Regal bus and the Leopard bus. The Regal bus is going to be your like default bus from 1929. Leopard is like the upgraded version, like 31, 35 passengers. The speed increases. Yeah, all sorts of stuff. It's always better to get the Leopard. But so once you buy your vehicle, you can duplicate, see their orders, or their details, and then the order menu. When you want to select what you want a truck to do, you select the order menu, and then you basically click on a station. You can also set waypoints, but say for a bus, you want to unload and load because you would want to drop off and pick up. That's the job. So unload and wait for full load for bus stops and anything passengers related, really. And then you send it here, unload, full load, and now it's ready. However, I'm going to duplicate it because typically stations will pile up passengers and cargo, but it won't be immediately transported. It needs vehicles to do that. So I'm going to show you here. I'm going to fast forward the game. Now that these buses have left, there's still passengers here that can be transported. Why is that thing still in here? But that's basically how the stations work, and go search up a wiki if you're too dumb to understand this. I'm probably explaining it pretty horribly, but I don't care. Let's say coal. So the way money works is that cargo payment rates are higher the closer it is. Like, the less days in transit it is in, the more money it generates. However, it also needs to travel a certain amount of distance. There's sort of like an algorithm that sorts it out, but payment for delivering 10 units or 10,000 liters of cargo, distance of 20 squares. So say coal, this gray line, it's one of the most consistent, so it's pretty reliable. It's not going to like decrease in value as it's in transit. However, stuff like valuables will decrease in time. Passengers seems low, but I'm going to get into that. So the kind of farther it is and the quicker it gets there, combined will determine the cargo's value. I'm sorry if it cut out. It will determine the cargo's value. Since this line is bigger, actually I'm going to take this opportunity to show you how to make railroads. Now with railroads you don't have to be fancy. It can just be plain and simple, straight line, but that's not photogenic, and I don't care about being photogenic. So really, you can make this length, and be careful, because that you can like make it look ugly, but then again, I don't care about that. But they angle pretty weirdly. They struggle with slopes. It can only move in the cardinal directions. This is isometric, so keep in mind, but it can only move in basically the cardinal directions of this game on sloped surfaces. I'm going to show you an example. So it's like, say, take this sloped surface. If I tried to make an angled track on it, it wouldn't go down. But if I made a regular track, it would. You can use the preview graph to show you, like, if there's any errors or anything like that. Let me return over here. So, I'm going to continue building this track. There's also an electric track, but I haven't paid much mind to it, but I probably should. I'm not that good of a player. Like I said, this is an idiot's guide. So, I'm going to do it straight here. This game is also a lot of logistics. That's basically what it is. Now, once you build your track, assuming it's just a straight line that you don't care if it gets ruined or not, you want to build, you know how I built the truck depot? Depots are where all vehicles come from. If you have a vehicle bus in your neighborhood, ask them where sedans come from, and they'll tell you all about it. But you can edit the length of the platform. Typically you want to use 1 or 2, but I use 3 because of my longer trains. And you want to build them on the track. Make sure they're not like, something fell. Make sure they're not like disconnected or anything. But build your train depot, preferably close to where the cargo is being supplied. Or you could also build it at the end, so if it drops off, you can send it for maintenance. Trains work a bit differently. Instead of just buying the vehicle outright, you pick an engine, then you pick the cars. The cars don't really need upgrading, but the engines do. Steam engines are basically earliest examples of trains you'll encounter, and in subarctic areas, you'll find yourself running into these in 1945, I believe, or 1943. Because in certain areas, like I said, they can take a while to release. So here I'm going to use the floss, simply because it's the most powerful. It's a diesel. Now, also, vehicles have a running cost. Along with its regular cost, you have a running cost. This is how much it costs per year. I felt like I should have explained that. Well, I'm dumb. But, so if you're transporting coal, in this case, you want to look at how much it's transporting, so about 131, 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. That'll be good. I usually just buy 5 carts. It'll be good for pretty much any coal station, but I'm sure people can disprove me, because I suck at this game. So you want to send them to here, but when you're loading a supply that only goes one way, like coal goes to power plants, right? But the power plants don't, like, make anything. Like, accepts passengers, and coal accepts passengers because it's close by to the town. But this one over here accepts nothing, so you don't need to unload at all, just full load. If it's like coal or gold or something like that, then you drop it off. That's it. And then, like, I'm gonna fast forward it to, like, show you how long it might take. But stations do take a while to load on their first time because your company's rating hasn't improved there. But over time, traffic will increase. I'm just following the train here as I talk. Now, sometimes there are accidents. Vehicles have a reliability, and that reliability is needed for, you know, not crashing or breaking down. Vehicles break down more and more the lower the reliability gets. Planes, as bad as it sounds, do not crash when they break down. They slow down to like a shit crawl. Then they will land and go get maintenance, and then they'll probably break down again if they're breaking down by that point. But crashes are basically 1%, 5% chance things to happen, and but it's usually only like sub 1 or 1%, but it can get higher if you're trying to land it at the wrong airport. There's different kinds. I'm not sure if my mods came here. Yeah, small airport like the Commodore or the Metropolitan. Big airports go to large ones. Hub airports are like the biggest ones, but small airports, you can't land a large aircraft there. But it's not like you want to use these anyways, because removing them and replacing them, it's awful. So let me see if I can. You know what? I'm gonna pay off some of my debt here. You want to do this in the financial menu, and you'll be able to repay as much debt as you feel like, usually 10k British pounds, or 20k American per little segment. Now I'm going to build another bus route from Granningwell. Actually, I could build a train. No, I don't think it's worth it. All the effort. Now, cities can increase in size drastically over time, and I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure the more business they attract, the bigger they get. So you could artificially inflate business. Another good thing to know is that if a city... Oh, well, I might as well borrow more cash. If there's like the city that's got no U-turns for trucks, make a U-turn. Because it's gonna slow your trucks down if you don't, yeah, see, drive strip stops can't have junctions. It's very picky. In fact, I think it just, yeah, do it here in the corner. I didn't even need to do all that. And the thing is, you don't need to build a new station if you're just connecting two cities and if one already has a bus station, you don't need to make a new bus station. That's good. And you don't even need to make a new depot. Though I prefer to keep a depot close by in case it needs maintenance. I'm going to make 2 more leopard buses. And then I'm going to basically run it AFK while I rant. After I get done building this. There is no bus station. Damn it. sometimes you can accidentally place truck stations instead of bus stations. It happens to me all the time. Must demolish truck station first. Use the bomb for that. That's obvious. Bridges, I guess you can figure that out on your own. Like the landscaping, don't bother with that at all until you're like a more advanced player, or at least you have a moderate knowledge of the game, because that can mess up your reputation with towns. It sucks because it also costs a lot of money. It's good if you're in a pickle, like say something's closed up and you need to open it, or if you need to open a gap for cargo. But other than that, I typically use landscaping. These will show you notifications, especially crashes. You want to pay attention. Even if you like let it run AFK, you want to occasionally check in and make sure, like, especially aircraft, that they haven't crashed, because aircraft are hella expensive. Now, since granting well, I'm gonna sort by population here. Nardinghead. I'm gonna run passengers from now. I'm gonna do corner to corner. Now, one of my favorite vehicles is the Yacht-Hugen, or however you pronounce that, and it's because of its speed. Like, because you remember what I said earlier about cargo being more expensive the farther it's transported, but the faster it goes. Yeah, it's like that with jets, because it goes super fast and it gets there and drops off about 100 people. Yeah, see, you'll get exclusive offer if it offers for businesses and stuff that you have involved yourself in. So, like, since I built the train, they suggested me a train, but I'm pretty sure it does that for everybody, regardless of exactly cargo graph. If you're ever curious as to how many passengers a place has, just check this or the advanced cargo graph. See, local authority. I have good reviews despite not doing anything here, but you basically get good reviews by not being an asshole to local people. So, of course, there's different types of planes for different purposes. Early planes, best. One of the best is the Bakewell Luckett. I mean, not early plane, but it's like one of the best large airplanes. It's pretty reliable. At least in my experience, the Yacht is very good, but hell expensive. That's kind of why I needed to let the game run and fast forward here. Oil field. Oil fields are incredibly valuable. Well, they are incredibly valuable, but only under certain circumstances, kind of. It's kind of hard to explain, but like, you can either deliver it to a dock, like I can show here, unless if there's no refinery around, I'll just transport it to a dock. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to, okay. But basically, when you build a dock, you want to build on a sloped edge like this. Otherwise, not suitable, not suitable. And yeah, that's gonna mess with you a lot. Docks mess with me a lot. So, these docks over here, I set them over there. Hey, there's another airfield. There's another one under construction right here. The depot here works differently. You can place it fuck anywhere. But with these docks, before I set up this whole oil thing, it works the same for oil wells, but for wells you can use docks if they're very close to the sea, like with their if their expansion radius can reach it. But most of the time you're gonna be getting oil rigs for cargo ships, and you want to find like a refinery. These are refineries that will they'll basically take the oil, but some businesses will produce items off of what you make. Like, if you deliver oil here, it makes goods that can be transported to towns. So, which is what I'm gonna do. So, I'm gonna build a truck station for like all the oil here. Take note, traffic jams suck. if at all possible, with multiple vehicles. Avoid it. Needless to say. I'm just gonna bring it up there, and I'm gonna deliver the goods to... I think the goods would be closer to Parnwell, and I could increase its growth, I guess, by delivering the goods there instead. I could run it by train, but I don't feel like doing all that. I just want to keep it basic for the sake of this video that's probably going to be end up being like 10 times longer as I anticipated. Yeah, see? Here accepts nothing. Here accepts oil. So you have to loop it around. And then, yeah. Not optimal at all, but who cares? It's going to make money, regardless. As long as it makes... as long as it breaks even, I don't care. Now... Oh, yeah. Okay. So now that I've got this set up, oil rigs don't need anything. I'm gonna use the CS Inc. oil tanker. These don't need a dock or anything. You could just send them directly as if they were a location. Since it's oil, it accepts nothing, so full load. You can also land helicopters here for small amount, very, very small amounts of passengers. It's not worth it. But helicopters in general are pretty bad, but they are pretty cool. Oh, I almost put full load there, because at the docks you're only going to be dropping off. If you put full load on a place where it's not going to be supplying anything, it's just going to sit there. So I'm going to fast forward this. I believe this one produces, yeah, that much per month. And while that's getting done, I'm gonna get these oil trucks ready. Okay, wrong button. Vehicle depot. You start out with the Whitcomb, but later on you get the Foster. Much better. Like, so much better. Like, the speed upgrade is so good. Yes, you can merge these docks. If it has, like, see how it has the truck station and the dock logo? That's a signal that it's combined. If it makes two locations separate, then that means that you screwed up. Assuming that you're trying to put them next to each other. I accidentally... Oh man, I'm fumbling here. I accidentally, well, I lost track of my own mind, but that's a sign of how good I am at this game. These oil tank, the thing is, when that boat drops off 3,500,000 liters of oil. That's why I have to send this many. Once you make the orders, that's when you want to clone them, because then you don't have to do the orders over and over again. See, perfect timing. Now the ship's just now arrived. See? As soon as it loads off, these guys are ready. These traffic jams really suck, though. Look at that, it instantly loaded. Let's see the profit when it arrives. $991 per truck. That's pretty decent. And there's no oil. Wow, these guys drained them. You can also... Actually, here's another thing. If there's multiple oil rigs, let's scout out the best one. And just have multiple run the fields. Maximize your profits. Why stop there? You can always be making more money in this game. That's one of my favorite ones. I played this game on my RG34, Game Boy clone, and it was actually a pretty good experience for handheld one export. Now, if you can find a refinery that's like right at the edge of the ocean, so you can make a dock to it, that's like, I consider that optimal because it just transports directly to the station. But then again, I guess it could be more valuable if it's I guess it could be more valuable if it's traveling a longer distance, but the Foster oil trucks, I believe, slow it down. Oh, look at that. 3 big cities. I'm gonna have to merge these. What I like to do when I see cities like these, the second I see a clump, I have to connect them with buses. There's no reason not to. It's free money. Unless if you're on a challenge run. It's way free money. You can also run mail between towns, but I haven't focused on that because I don't typically care that much about mail. It's more valuable on I guess it is more valuable in what was I talking about? Whatever. Yeah, I'm making a U-turn route so it can circle. Actually, no, I don't even think that's connected because the town's blocking off their roads. No, there it is, tucked behind everything else. But alright, let's get this started. Buses. Building 3 buses. You don't want to clone them if it's multiple routes. 10 is going to go from Friendly to here. Then to here. It's going to run a triangle. You know what? Screw it. Like, let's just have them all run a triangle. This is awesome. Now, since big towns produce a lot of passengers. You gotta understand. I wonder how my ratings are at the airport. 4. Figured. You know what? Screw the jet. I'm just gonna make a luck it. So this is one of my go-to aircraft early on. It was built in 1957. It's definitely not optimal nowadays. I'm gonna sort by maximum speed and see what I got. Yeah, this seems better. Whatever. Screw me. Now, when you have 2 airports, go to airport, unload, full load, nothing else, okay? Unless if it's transporting some, like, special cargo, there's no reason to not unload and full load. Now, after this, I'm going to show you the profit graph, and then the vehicle profit. So, see how long this takes to load? Once you do your first load and transport, more passengers will be attracted, and it will also build up passengers once it leaves. So you don't really need to worry about, let's see how much it makes in one run from across the entire map. Oh, yeah, see that? It broke down here. That's unfortunate. Here it is. Okay. Reliability 30%. You've got to be kidding me. I just bought this. Yeah, you may also notice it takes a while to unload as well. As it gains, each one has a certain amount of maximum transaction speed, I guess. Yeah, $19,000 for this crappy plane. Reliability 77%. I guess it refills to a certain amount once you send it to maintenance or get it replaced. Yeah, see, they're going to appear in the menu here, but they're going to immediately get loaded onto the aircraft because they've been waiting. Let's see. I guess that's basically a complete idiot's guide. Anyone could take this. Well, if they could understand it. And, they could, play the game blindly from there, or like no, not blindly, but like they'd be able to. They'd have a by now you should have a somewhat moderate. Man, I'm sucking pretty bad today, but you should have a moderate knowledge of the very basics. By the time this should be done. Yeah, see in your vehicles, you can vehicle menus, you can check the profits. This train consistently makes 54K because its route is consistent. Yeah, that ship. The thing is with these oil tankers, if they don't make profit, the reason why, especially if you're dropping it off at a dock, the profit comes from the trucks, not the tanker. So say I want to go see the trucks that are doing that. Yep, all of that evens it out and then some. These are like the buses. These are making $6,000 per year and whatnot. This air taxi, I guess, as station ratings improve, it'll get better. The Yate is my favorite aircraft, obviously. In fact, I'm gonna borrow a ton of money just to showcase it. But this should be a pretty decent, like, older brother standing over you, telling you how to play a game video. And you should be able to be fine after watching this. Yeah, see that instantly loaded. Let's see the profit. See, that's 2,000. That's like 3 times as fast as the plane I got. The profit? 81,000. This is the future of transport, people. 81,000 for delivering 100 people. This thing only has the thing is that this has a lower capacity than the other, but it makes more money in one trip because it was faster. If that makes sense. Like farther distance, faster travel, more money. You don't have to worry about distance and travel as long as you're breaking even. Here's the profit graph in the last few years. I'm going to extend it. This is when I started building, I believe. After the buses, then after the aircraft. And it's going to only get higher because of the 8. That should be... Now I'm going to include a quick little tutorial here how to host a server. In case if you want to do multiplayer. This game is free, so you can get other people to play it. There's also tons of free content. Oh, actually, before I do that, the music and sound sets have to be downloaded. That sounds crazy. That sounds like stupid, but like you could the original assets for Transport Tycoon Deluxe are paywalled, so they made their own assets literally from basically from scratch, and they look pretty good. The multiplayer, this list is a list. You can search the internet for servers, but this is a list of invite codes that you have used recently. Like, this is my server. If you ever feel like joining, you know, let me know. It shuffles about every 5 days. It's mostly offline usually. Now, adding a server, just copy paste the invite link. If you're on mobile, type it out. Start server. Set your game type. I don't really care for my dumbass brain rot language. I usually set my visibility to invite only for my server. I have a PC in here that just runs the game. You can also like download maps, I'm guessing. You can set the maximum number of clients up to 15 companies and 25 clients, I believe. Oh, no, it can go higher. What about this? Nope, 15 clients max. So I'm gonna new game. You can also load one of your games to if you want your friend to join in on your save and whatnot. Stop. You can otherwise you just want to start a new game. Of course you decide all of the server stuff, but after this you'll get an invite code in the corner here, in your online players tab. That's where you're gonna get your stuff. That's pretty much all. I literally have nothing else to say about this game. Actually, this seems like a very good map. I'm gonna save this for myself. Other than that, I believe that's like all the basic stuff.